Good morning, Chelsea.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Great. You know, Fox is here, back in Kensington. And how old are you, Chelsea?
I'm 31.
31? Okay. Where you from?
I grew up in Lancaster County.
Lancaster, okay. Not too far from here.
No, I've been out in Kensington for about a year now.
About a year now? Mm-hmm. How could you say it's been?
It's been rough. I mean, this has been this is my first time being out in the street. So it's probably the lowest point of my addiction.
Okay. Would you also say that's like the lowest point in your life, or?
Yeah.
Reach rock bottom?
Right.
And what brought you here?
I actually, my ex-boyfriend, he's from Philadelphia, and I came out here with him.
So his kids brought you to this city?
Yeah.
All right. Was he already addicted, or?
Yeah, we got together though, and we were both sober, but he does struggle with addiction as well.
Did he introduce you to the drug?
No.
Okay. What's your drug of choice?
Heroin.
And how long have you been addicted to the substance?
I've used on and off for about 12 years now.
12 years? How much clean time you got?
My longest period of clean time, I had 3 years. Other than that, I've had, maybe a couple months here and there. But 3 years.
3 years clean. Okay. What's your drug of choice?
Heroin.
And how long have you been addicted to the substance?
I've used on and off for about 12 years now.
12 years? How much clean time you got?
My longest period of clean time, I had 3 years. Other than that, I've had, maybe a couple months here and there. But 3 years.
3 years clean. It's a hard fight. How did you acquire them 3 years clean?
I've never been to maybe 30-day programs. I really enjoyed that program. Actually, it really worked for me, and I, just got a job, and I actually was a manager at a hotel for a while.
Okay.
And so that kept me really busy.
Your life had changed extremely once you got clean.
Absolutely.
How did you relapse?
I guess, being an addict, like the easiest escape for us is the drug. And I guess I got kind of complacent thinking that I could do it one time, and because life got a little hectic for me. But it just doesn't work like that.
How did your day go that day you relapsed?
I worked about a mile down the street from the rehab that I had went to, and a lot of people that would graduate from the program got a job where I had worked. So for that period of time of me working there, I had saw a lot of, people relapsing and using and things like that. And for a while it didn't bother me, but eventually I guess I let it get the best of me.
Yeah, you got to stay away from all type of drug activity.
Right.
But I understand. That happens. But you fought the fight. You can do it again. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know I can.
Glad you know. Mm-hmm. So what would you say your family's like?
My family, I'm an only child. I was raised pretty well. They're not familiar too much with addiction, so they don't know exactly a lot about it or how to handle it. But
right.
They did go to Al-Anon, and they learned, tough love, and not to be an enabler. So while I'm in my addiction, they just, I still have contact with them and let them know I'm doing okay. But they kind of cut ties with me as far as anything else.
Were they enabling you to acquire at one point?
At first, yeah, they were. Like I said, they didn't know much about addiction, and they didn't like to see me, sick. So they did enable me for a little while until they learned more about addiction.
Okay. Were they involved in your life when you were clean?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now, what's your marital status at the moment?
I'm single.
Okay. And when's the last time you've had a boyfriend or something of the sort?
4 months ago.
4 months ago. What happened with your relationship?
We both started using, and it kind of tore us apart.
Did you meet him out here at all?
No.
Okay, I thought you said you were out here for... How long were you out here for?
A year.
A year? Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't meet him out here. So were you like bouncing back and forth between two different neighborhoods?
No, he was born and raised here, but he moved to Lancaster, where I'm from. But he wanted to move back closer to his kids, so that's why we came back out here.
Okay. Now, how do you acquire money to afford your habit?
Boosting, selling things.
Boosting, selling things. Do you ever perform any of working the Ave at all?
No.
Okay, that's good. It's good you're not out here. Have you ever done it before?
I have, yeah.
You have? It's gotten to that point before.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you've been sick?
Last night.
Last night you were sick? Mm-hmm. Was it really, really bad, or how was it?
Usually, it was only for a few hours. Usually it gets really bad after maybe, like 12 hours or so. Mm-hmm. We get really sick. I started throwing up, things like that.
And how did you manage to obtain last night?
I had to boost to make money.
You had to boost. Does it matter which store it is, or is there a secret way to do it?
No, not really. There's certain stores that I guess are easier to go to. A lot of people out here boost as well, so I guess you just kind of know where to go.
Right. Do you have any friends out here or anybody you can trust?
I have a lot of acquaintances, but I wouldn't really say friends. I kind of stick to myself because it's hard to trust people out here. People do what they gotta do to survive.
Yeah, people, they go through some crazy things to obtain,
Right.
Have you ever been victimized out here?
Not really. It's hard to keep things out here, though, because pretty much every day, if you turn your back, your things will get stolen.
Right. How do you stay safe at night?
I actually don't stay out here outside. I stay at one of the train stations, and I've been staying there since I pretty much came out here for about a year now, and I know a few of the people that stay there. They've been there since day one too, so
right.
I guess as far as that goes, I can trust that they aren't going to let anything happen to me.
That's the safest place to go.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months?
Well, with the holidays coming up, I would really like to go to rehab and get sober so that I can go see my family.
Right.
And, you know, eventually I'd like to go back to school and become a manager again in hospitality.
I'm glad you still got them thoughts going through your mind. You know, I know it's not easy having a clear mind and using.
Right.
And yeah, you still manage to still think positive.
Yeah, you gotta.
I applaud you for that.
You gotta have something to look, you know, up to or forward to, because it's rough out here.
Yes, it is. Have you ever seen anybody under the age of 18 out here using?
Not that I'm aware of, but I have seen people of the age of 18, and I do know that I hear about, you know, unfortunately this drug is getting to the younger generation, you know, the more that it is an epidemic, so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I never really understood how this is a park where people bring their kids, and there's just so much syringes laying around and drug activity going on, and people still bring their kids here. I never really understood that.
Well, I mean, it's a shame because it is a park, so kids should be able to play in the park, and we just kind of took that over. I never really understood it either. I don't particularly do that just because, you know, a lot of these people do have kids, and what if their kids were to be the ones playing out here and they were to step on a needle or something like that?
Right, Chelsea. Do you ever see change for this place?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure?
I mean, there would have to be change in, you know, authority, I guess, in order for that to happen. There are resources. There are plenty of resources. It's just whether people want to take advantage of that or not.
Right. Chelsea, would you say your parents did a good job raising you as a child?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you grow up in the upper class, middle class, or the lower class?
Middle class.
Middle class? Okay, being the only child, were you spoiled?
I guess to a certain extent.
That's cool. Do you have any children yourself?
No, I don't.
That's great. I'm glad you wouldn't, you know, bring a child into this. But eventually, do you see yourself having any children?
I would like to, yeah.
Yeah. Make your parents grandparents, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to see change in you too, Chelsea. You know that too.
I know, yeah.
And you say you was going to do that for them, so make us all proud.
Right.
Next interview, we're going to get you sober.
I hope so.
Right. We're going to interview you sober, not get you sober. You're going to get yourself sober. Oh, you can do that.
Right.
But I see a special gift in you, Chelsea. Can you tell me your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? I was guessing it was purple, but blue is close to it.
That's actually probably my second favorite color.
Second favorite
Yeah.
color? Right. What goes through your mind when you're off of the drug, like when you're on the drug, I'm sorry?
It is, opiates kind of are like you know, they kind of numb your feelings, so I think that's why a lot of people use as well, because like I said, it is an escape, and it kind of makes them forget about the reality of things. But then when you're not on the drug and you're sick and things like that, I mean, reality doesn't go away. It
Right.
just kind of covers it up for the time being.
Yeah, it's like a cover-up. But Chelsea, I'm hearing that the heroin out now isn't real heroin, though. It's like fentanyl and trank and all type of different mixtures. So you can't really say it's opiates anymore. That's why it's so dangerous, and that's why I really want you to avoid using the substance every day.
Right.
Right. I'm saying you see what all these other women go through out here. I'm glad you don't have to go through that. But boosting just as bad as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're still out here committing a crime.
Right.
And I know you're not that type of person.
Right. Yeah, I jeopardize my freedom every day.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yeah.
How much time did you do in jail?
6 months.
6 months? Altogether?
No, it was about a year altogether.
Well, what was that? Just for like possession charges or something?
It was for theft charges.
Theft charges? Yeah, see, the boosting it's not going to go well.
Right.
You know, it might lead you to worse things. So, you know, but you'll be able to conquer it one day.
Right.
I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself?
I do. Like I said, I've done it before, so I know I can do it again.
Okay.
I've just got to take the right steps to do that.
Right. As long as you know. Now, can you give me a goal once you get sober, what you would like to do? Or handle or take care of?
Well, like I said, I'd like to get back into management.
Mm-hmm.
I had a car, I had a house over my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get those things back.
Mm-hmm.
And work on my relationship with my family.
Right. Well, you got this. You got this. Just, you know, put a smile on your face every day. Go out here and fight that withdrawal. You ever tried any methadone or Suboxone clinics at all? Anything?
I did. I actually was on methadone for 2 years, and I didn't use heroin at all when I was on the methadone program either. But unfortunately, I had moved and there was an insurance issue, so I had to get off the methadone. And actually, that's kind of why I started using again as well, because I had to withdraw from methadone.
Right. I understand. It takes that step, though, Chelsea. Just like you said, you wasn't using when you was on methadone. You can do it again.
Right.
You know, there's some free clinics out here. You ain't even got to have insurance, so take that step for yourself and for your loved ones. Oh, man. It's crazy. It's just crazy hearing these stories every day, Chelsea. Have you ever overdosed?
I have. I actually overdosed for the first time when I was out here. And like you said, I think that has a lot to do with, you know, not knowing my limits, because there's a lot of different things in the so-called heroin now that isn't opiates.
Right. How was that experience for you? Did it feel traumatic?
Yeah. Luckily, well, at the time I was with my boyfriend at the time, so I wasn't by myself. And he did Narcan me. But yeah, it was definitely a life-changing experience.
Thank God. Are you spiritual at all?
Yeah, I believe in a higher power.
What do you want for yourself besides getting clean?
I mean, being clean isn't entirely just about staying off the drug. It's also about working on yourself as a person.
Right.
So, and even getting to know yourself as a person. So, those are things that I'd like to work on. And that could also help my relationship with my family and things in the future.
Do you feel like you knew yourself as a person before you picked up?
Not so much. I was really young. I was only 19, so I was kind of just experiencing the real world at that point.
Now, do you know yourself as a person now?
When I was sober before, I did learn a lot of things about myself. When you have a clear mind, it's easy to do things like that. So I do believe I have an idea.
And how often do you feel like you have a clear mind out here?
Not very often. It kind of get the best of you being out here.
Now, do you spend all your money you make off of boosting on drugs, like every single dime?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I do spend money on food and things like that, but they also have resources for food out here as well, that you can eat for free. So I would say majority of my money does go to drugs.
Now, how often do you manage to bathe yourself?
A couple times a week. There are plenty of places that you can go and shower. You just have to, look into it. And they have churches. They also have a shower truck that comes out here once a week.
So you're able to stay up on your hygiene?
Yeah.
That's good. I know it's really hard to survive out here homeless. Especially with all the other addicts around. Do you feel like it just puts you in a place of despair? Or is this like a safe haven for you?
Definitely not a safe haven. I don't think I could imagine myself getting sober out here. I would definitely want to move somewhere else. When I was sober before, I did get away from my stomping grounds, and I was just close enough to be near my family, but just far enough to be away from the drugs. I mean, I do think it's important to know that if you are around them, that you can be strong enough not to do them. But early in recovery, that's just not something that you want to mess with.
What's the first step we can plan to get you clean, get you sober?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is go to detox. I am thinking about going to a long-term rehab again.
I'm not going to keep saying it, but if you did it before, you can do it again.
Yeah.
Long-term would be great for you, Chelsea. Are you afraid to die out here?
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible, and crazy things do happen out here. And even just using, I could face that every day.
What's the craziest thing you've seen out here?
I've actually, I don't really know. I've seen a lot of fights and things like that. Even people that get caught stealing out here, I've seen them, be tortured and things like that.
Have you ever seen anybody die out here?
No.
I just be hearing about all the criminal activity that goes on out here. It scares me, Chelsea. And I don't think this is a place for you. I don't just say that to everybody, though. Just saying, Chelsea. But go home. Get clean first. Then go back to your family. Your loved ones. Chelsea, you've been wonderful for me. I'd like to thank you for your time.
Thank you.